Dear Shrestha viewers, welcome. In the last class, we were discussing about macroeconomics. So, we are done with microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now, you have complete idea about what is micro and what is macro. Now, based on these points, we are going to understand more deeply what is micro and macro. Yeah, we are studying the difference between micro and macro. What is the difference? Okay. So, firstly, definition. Definition or meaning of microeconomics and macroeconomics. How does this microeconomics differ in definition with macroeconomics? Okay. So, what did we learn in microeconomics? What is its definition or meaning? Microeconomics is a study of individual consumers' behavior. Yes. And what is macroeconomics? Yesterday I gave you two definitions, out of which you should at least be able to respond at least a small line. Yeah, macroeconomics is a study of aggregate, economic theory and income and employment, etc. It deals about the complete world or a complete country. Yes? Yeah. So that's definition. Then nature. What is its nature? How is microeconomic nature different from macroeconomics? Microeconomics is analytical and theoretical in nature. Here I used analytical and theoretical, 2 points. So what are those? Why am I saying it analytical? Because we have many analysis in microeconomics. We analyze on every particular topic like demand analysis, supply analysis, consumer analysis and inflations, price analysis, market analysis, etc. we saw in microeconomic terms because we deal with every individual unit. Yes or no? So here we analyze and understand every particular topic very clearly, and those are formed as theories. Yes or no? Theory of demand, theory of supply, law of diminishing marginal utility, law of equimarginal utility, law of variable proportions, theory of demand, theory of supply, market mechanisms and many other things, national income, employment, etc. So it is analytical and also theoretical. Whatever we analyzed, whatever we brought it into a conclusion from our analysis is formed as theories. That is what we are studying in our books today. So I said it has analytical and theoretical. What is that? That is microeconomics. Then what is the nature of macroeconomics then? If it is microeconomics is analytical and theoretical, then what is macroeconomics? It is also theoretical, and it is also practical, because here I won't say analytical because we are not going to see anything like we can't analyze each and every topic. We just go practically and we are studying it again. So it is theoretical. Why am I saying it practical? Because that is the things we are really seeing in our country or in our society today. Employment, income, prices and business, etc. whatever it is going on, economic policies, etc. we are seeing in our real world. We are operating with it, we are dealing with it. So it is practical. So the nature of microeconomics is analytical and theoretical, whereas nature of macroeconomics is theoretical and practical. Clear with nature? Clear with definition? Now let's move to scope. As we already know, microeconomics only deals with individual units. So its scope will be limited only to individual units. Where the individual level stops, there only the microeconomic analysis stops. But macroeconomics is not like that. It deals with aggregates. So when compared to microeconomics, the scope of macroeconomics is wide than microeconomics because it deals with the whole country or whole world. Yes or no? So that is the scope. And then importance. Now we are not saying something is like microeconomics is important than macroeconomics or macroeconomics is important than microeconomics. Both has its individual importance. How? Why? Now, importance of microeconomics. This microeconomics helps us to understand how to use our scarce resources, how to utilize it properly, and also decision making in businesses, and also many other things like this. Yes or no? Here we will understand each and everything like how to budgeting etc, how to prepare the budget, policies etc. Individually we are going to see each and everything, decision making in the business. It may be in a family or in a business. Here you won't bother about the other company whether it is going into losses or not. Even if it is going into losses, you are not answerable for that. You are only answerable for your company, for your branch. If it is not performing good, or even if it is performing good, you will be the own sole person who is responsible for that. And even in your family, decision making. So what it means, here you are only responsible for small units, individual units. But when it is coming to macroeconomics, it is not like that. It deals about big economic policies in the national wide, in country wide. Yes or no? Here it won't understand, it won't deal with decision making and all. Of course it involves decision making, but here you're just responsible for a small part of a company or a small part of discussion. But when it is coming to country wide, you know, each and every individual is a citizen of this country, and we have to look after. When we are in such a position to make an economic policy, we have to think that our country is a family and everyone should be get benefited with our policies, whatever we are framing for them. So we have to plan it in such a way that a small individual to a big business millionaire should be benefited out of those policies. So isn't that a big responsibility when compared to microeconomics? Obviously yes. So what did you understand here? Not the greatness or the inferiority like that, but you have to understand that microeconomics is important in this and macroeconomics is important in like in the big wider thing. So that's the importance. And then application. Now you understood what is the definition, what is its nature, until which extent it can be useful, and what is its importance. Now can't you apply it somewhere? How can you apply is the question here. So here microeconomics can be applied in internal environment and also in the external environment, that is business, any other activity, whatever it is. Individual units, whenever you want to compare in any activity. Economics is not about a small thing, right? Economics is a nature and it is a subject that we are going to see in every part. So but few topics are categorized which falls under micro and macro. So here, as we already know, microeconomics only deals with individual units. When the point comes to individual units, whatever the topic it is, it should compare and we should use the microeconomics there. So it is also useful in the internal as well as the external environment. But when coming to macroeconomics, it is not about individual. It is about the whole country, as we already know. So it only deals with an external environment and the country. Okay, clear? Now that is an application. And then theoretical orientation. So here microeconomics deals with distribution theories and economic theories. What are those distribution theories? Theory of demand, supply. We distribute the commodities, we supply the commodities. All these are called as distribution only. But when coming to macroeconomics, it only deals with the economic policies and theories in wide concepts. So it doesn't deal with individual concepts like this. So here microeconomics deals with distribution theories, and whereas macroeconomics only deals with economic theories. Clear? Now next, sources of principles. Now here microeconomics takes little assumptions also. Okay, these laws and theories are based on certain kind of assumptions. If something is there, how can you do an analysis on that? We assume something and we get the result. Yes or no? Obviously, law of diminishing marginal utility is completely based on assumption, and we have also exceptional cases for that. Like you have the basic example, like eating one apple and eating 5 apples at a time differs in the diminishing value of a person. When you have that satisfaction when you ate one apple and you're constantly eating 5 apples, at the time of eating 5th apple, what is the satisfaction level you have? So based on these assumptions, we discover the exceptional cases also, and also importance and limitations. So in this, what did you understand? It deals on assumptions and it follows some principles. But whereas macroeconomics, it only follows principles and puts into practical. Here it doesn't have any assumptions. Like, will they do this? They have to do that. There is no other way. Okay, even if you are framing a good economic policy for the welfare, there are few people who are misusing that, but you can't say because of someone is misusing that you should stop this here itself. So you don't have a choice of assumption here, whereas you have only to form the policies and you have to amend that. But when coming to microeconomics, you can assume and take the decisions. So decision making power is only possible in microeconomics. So clear? Source of principles. So microeconomics have assumptions and principles, but macroeconomics will not have any assumptions, only principles. Okay, then conceptual framework. What is this conceptual framework? Microeconomics is a concept, macroeconomics is also a concept, but microeconomics is a concept which is independent in nature, because it deals with every individual separately, and every individual is is diverse, like they are different from one another. Yes or no? One individual may not be like another individual. So it is independent assumptions and discoveries, whatever it is there, it is independent. But whereas coming to macroeconomics, it is interdependent. Everything is connected. Now if we take a small topic called national income, you know how many sectors are contributing together to that national income? From agriculture, from industry, from tertiary, tourism sector, government, whatever it is, everything is contributing to national income. Does not it be the perfect example of this interdependent concept? So everything is again interrelated here. But here in microeconomics, one concept will not have any link with another concept. Here it is done, it is done. This theory is this, it's all. Then again if you start another theory, you have to search again new information about that. You can't link it with this behind or this past theory. Okay, clear? So microeconomics is independent and macroeconomics is interdependent. Okay, and tools. What are these tools? Whenever we want to form and we have to complete and accomplish a task, we use some tools. Yes or no? What are those tools in microeconomics? What are those tools in macroeconomics? Business, small things, business, and this kind of monetary small principles, theories, etc. what comes under thing that is called microeconomic thing. And here in vast cases we have some tools. It differs from microeconomics and macroeconomics. And then assumptions, as we already told you, and this microeconomics completely deals with assumptions, critical assumptions, whereas macroeconomics will also take the help of little assumptions but actually deals with the reality and only principles. Okay, here there is only assumptions, whereas it takes a little help of assumptions with reality, that is framing the principles and following that. That's it. So here are the 10 points. We have compared each of them in both the cases and we have learned some information today. What is the definition, nature, scope, importance, application, theoretical orientation, sources of principles, conceptual framework, tools and assumptions. So here I am talking, you are unable to answer, but if we are in the real class, I need not explain you because you will be able to answer once you listen to that previous sessions, because you will be having very much good idea about what we spoke or we have learned in the other sections. With the help of that, you just need not worry to answer this question in your exam, because once you study a particular concept, you will study in such a way that you can remember each and every point. So you need not separately get prepared to all these points. Whatever you learned there, put it in different points like this. You have already learned the definitions for microeconomics and macroeconomics. That came one point, and then nature and scope. You already learned that, and importance and limitations already you know. Put one point from that, limitation 1 point from that, and scope 1 point from that, and how to apply. Now when you know all these, how you don't know how to apply, and principles, what are the tools, done. This is very simple. So this is how you want to you have to answer the question. That comes to the end of the session. Here we are going to see what is we have learned today, what is the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. In the coming session, I will be talking about the interdependence of microeconomics and macroeconomics. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe my channel and stay tuned to Stay Star. Thank you.